and welcome. My name is Alan, and today we're going to be doing kind of a review of the last week here, the last few days, some of the stories I may have missed here and there. First, let's start off with some morons. I released a video talking about all these haters who whine and bitch and moan. AEW is going to die. It's going to be the death. It's the end of AEW. Without actually doing any viable news. Instead, all they do is this clickbait trash. But what happened? The WWE stands came out of the crowd whining and bitching that, oh, I'm telling them what to think, blah, 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 blah. No, I'm not. I'm saying if you're going to do videos, at least make sense. There's some, right now talking about Ricky Starks isn't being given the treatment he deserves by AEW. He maybe end up going to WWE. That's fine. That's worthy. Something, is this what's going on? Instead of just being like, it sucks. I don't like it. It's going to be the end of it. Quit being a little baby. Quit whining and crying. I had a number of commenters. We here. It's like, really, dude. Maybe if you kiss up to him more, Daddy Vince will defecate in your hair. Anyway, now that we've got that out of the way, let's get into some of these stories here. Two of them in particular I'm wanting to look at. We're going to start over here. The Associated Press. Texas governor pardons ex-Army sergeant convicted of killing a Black Lives Matter protester. Abbott pardoned a guy convicted in Texas of killing a protester. Texas Governor Greg Abbott issued a full pardon Thursday for a former U.S. Army sergeant convicted of murder for fatally shooting an armed demonstrator in 2020 during nationwide protests against police violence and racial injustice. Abbott announced the pardon shortly after the Texas Board of Pardons and Parole announced a unanimous recommendation that Daniel Perry be pardoned and have his firearm rights restored. So not only are they going to say, well, we think you didn't deserve to be imprisoned and now we're going to give you your rights to own and shoot guns back, even though you were convicted legally by people here in Texas of murder. Dear God. And remember, this is the same dumb fuck of a governor who thinks it's all right to put barbed wire on the border and have immigrants that are seeking a better place, that are seeking safety, or just a better life, to fall into the Rio Grande and drown. He thinks that's fucking okay. Fuck you, Abbott. You're a goddamn piece of trash human being. Perry had been in state prison on a 25-year sentence since his 2023 conviction in the killing of Garrett Foster, and was released shortly after the pardon, a prison spokeswoman said. Perry, who is white, was working on a rideshare driver when his car approached a demonstration in Austin. Prosecutors said he could have driven away from the confrontation with Foster, a white Air Force veteran who witnesses said never raised his gun. The reason them being white, it was at a Black Lives Matter protest, and Foster, who was murdered, was married to a black woman who was an amputee. So, again, this fucker, Daniel Perry, it's clear he kills Foster. You know, everybody acknowledges it, but, oh, poor Abbott thinks you should have the right to kill protesters. Fuck you, Abbott. A jury convicted Perry of murder, but Abbott called it a case of self-defense. There was nothing he was defending against, you fuck! Fuck you, Abbott. Fuck you. Texas has one of the strongest stand-your-ground laws of self-defense that cannot be nullified by a jury or progressive district attorney, Abbott said. A Republican in his third term, Abbott has typically issued pardons only for minor offenses, and he notably avoided a posthumous pardon recommendation for George Floyd for a 2004 drug arrest in Houston. Fuck you, Abbott. It was Floyd's killing by a white police officer in Minneapolis in 2020 that set off the Black Lives Matter protests. Abbott ordered the board to review Perry's case shortly after the... Motherfucker, there is no evidence at all that Perry was in fucking danger. He murdered a man, you shit fuck some bitch. Goddamn fucker. Ordered the board to review Perry's case shortly after the trial and said he would sign a pardon if recommended. Fuck you, fucker. Under Texas law, the governor cannot issue a pardon without the recommendation from the board. And you noticed it was unanimous this time. Oh, yeah, no. Which the governor appoints. Yeah, he appoints the fucking board. Hey, recommend me a pardon so I can free this guy. Fuck you, Abbott. You are a shit human being. He really fucking is. Travis County District Attorney Jose Garza blasted the pardon as a mockery of our legal system. The board said the board and the governor have put their politics over justice, as is typical anymore, Garza said. They should be ashamed of themselves. Their actions are contrary to the law and demonstrate that there are two classes of people in the state where some lives matter and some lives do not. Abbott's demand for a review of Perry's case followed pressure from former Fox News star Tucker Carlson, who on national television had urged the governor to intervene after the sergeant was convicted at at trial in 2023 April. Perry was sentenced after prosecutors used his social media history and text messages to portray him as a racist who may commit violence again. He shoots Foster in a mixed-race marriage. There is no evidence that Foster or anybody else posed a threat to him. Yet Perry, in his social media and text, showed clear racist, bullshit. But he was just defending himself. The sergeant's defense attorneys argued that Foster did raise the rifle, that Perry had no choice but to shoot. Bull goddamn shit. Perry did not take the witness stand, and the jurors deliberated for 2 days before finding him guilty. This is an atrocious overturning of justice. Just like the fucking Supreme Court fucktards put on there by goddamn Dick Dumb Trump, who overturned Roe v. Wade the goddamn moment they got the fucking opportunity. Don't give me this bullshit of, they're being impartial. Fuck you! They're not being impartial. This Roe v. Wade stood for fucking 50 years. Half a goddamn century. And you fuckers, when you got control of the court, what did you do? You immediately put a case on the goddamn fucking docket. Go fuck yourselves. You fucking pieces of human garbage. God damn it. The events of the case have been tragic, and unfortunately, Garrett Foster lost his life. Mr. Perry and his family thank the Board of Pardons and Parole for its careful review of the case and are grateful that the state of Texas has strong laws to allow its citizens to protect themselves. Foster's girlfriend, Whitney Mitchell, was with Foster when he was killed. She called the pardon an act of lawlessness. With this pardon, the governor has desecrated the life of a murdered Texan and U.S. Air Force veteran and impugned the jury's just verdict. He has declared that Texans who hold political views that are different from his and different from those in power can be killed in this state with impunity. The shootings set off fierce debate in 2020 amid the demonstrations sparked by Floyd's death, and Perry's conviction 3 years later prompted outrage from prominent conservatives. Is it just me, or do these conservatives whine and bitch far more than they proclaim the left are whiners and babies? All they do is go fuck yourselves. Fucking shitfucks. I'm goddamn tired of the bullshit. Before sentencing in the case, Carlson aired a broadcast calling the shooting an act of self-defense and criticizing Abbott for not coming on his show. The day after, Abbott said he believed Perry should not be punished until Texas's parole board to expedite a review of the conviction. fuck Abbott. God damn. I'm so fucking tired of this bullshittery. Instead of doing what is right. Nah, I don't give a damn. Let's use our political capital to help our fellow American who's just defended himself even though he was not physically threatened in any goddamn fucking way. Fuck you, motherfuckers. See, where was it? Yeah. The sergeant's defense attorneys argued that Foster did raise the rifle, but Perry had no option but to shoot. But as far as I'm aware, there was nothing that showed that was what happened. Let's see. You know, it's insinuation. Fucker. God. Anyway, yeah. It's just stupid. Here's another article about it from the Texas Tribune. So yeah, he's been in jail for over a year, and then these bitches that are conservatives recommend me to pardon them so I can go ahead and pardon. Anyway, the other story I wanted to talk about that I have missed deals with the protest, showing that the violence that has been committed in these protests is not the students, it's the fucking counter protesters. They're the ones causing all the fucking violence. And then the police either help them or take their time stepping in. It's goddamn stupid. Yeah. UCLA clashes. May the 2nd. Police criticized for delayed response to violence. In this one, May the 7th. Police violence on college campuses is unacceptable. Police aggression in disbanding protesters and encampment takedowns only fuels the fire instead of putting it out. And then, of course, here's CNN. They did an actual study on it, despite Dana bashed the protesters, calling them Nazi-like. The actual investigation shows, yeah, it turns out the counter-protesters are the ones who are guilty of the fucking violence. Yeah. Because they call images of the people. and looked into them, and yeah, it turns out they're either viciously pro-Israeli, as one kid was like living here but wanting to be a part of the IDF. You had a guy who had been guilty of certain remarks on his social media. Yeah, fuck the goddamn counter protesters. These are peaceful demonstrations, but the counter protesters are attacking them, committing all kinds of violence and fucking evil. But yet, it's the protesters who are being lied about, who are being attacked. Fuck people who lie about this. Seriously. And fuck people who buy the bullshit. They're the ones who are being fed this bullshit because they fucking believe it and make it hard to push for any real fucking change because they're convinced, oh, they gotta be evil. Motherfucker, no. In about 25, 30 years, these kids will be known as right, just as MLK was known as right. The protesters against Vietnam were known as right. But it'll be too goddamn late at that fucking point. You know, as I said before, history always reveals these things, but often at that point it's too fucking late. You know, Occupy Wall Street, they were right, they were correct, but they were set up because they were interfering with the fucking money being made by corporations and Wall Street. And so all their protests, they were killed by police. Black Lives Matter. Their protests was against fucking police violence, something that's been happening for quite a fucking long time. Yeah. Fuck the goddamn fucking authorities. Fuck the goddamn police. I'm tired of that bullshit. Corrupt politicians and power players. You notice there's always setups and smears when people try to use their First Amendment right. Fuck the police. Fuck authority. You know, there needs to be a teardown of the fucking system and it needs to be properly built. Because as it sits right now, nah, it's fucking bullshit. And it needs to be fucking ended. Anyway, this video is already a 25-minute video. I'll go ahead and end it here. As always, educate thyself. Think, read, study, learn. Someone tells you something you have trouble believing, ask them to cite their sources. I'll be putting links in the description box below the video. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, later.